I am resident of Colorado for YouTube. Joe Sands and his buddy Patrick McCray and his buddy Alan Gallant. We're here to review The Straight Story, directed by David Lynch, written by John Roach and Mary Sweeney, produced by Mary Sweeney and Neil Edelston and Alan Sard. Let's see. The cinematographer is Freddie Francis. Music by Angelo Badalamenti.
Uh-huh.
Same guy that did the soundtrack to Twin Peaks.
Cool. Cool. Release dates May 21st, 1999, Canadians, October 15th, 1999, United States. Budget 10 million. Box office $6.2 million. Guys, when did you first see The Straight Story, Patrick?
I'll be honest with you. I had heard about it for years since it first came out. Today was really the first time I got to sit down and watch it.
Cool.
All the way through. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They had it they brought it back briefly at Regal here in 40X, where, you sat on the platform and it moves and surges and drops and so on and so forth.
Do you feel like you're on top of a John Deere tractor?
That's right, moving at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was amazing how they captured that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The rush.
Just put a Fredericks of Hollywood vibrator under every seat. You're done. with a signed copy of a picture
of the Fredericks of Hollywood. Yeah. For that. My God, we're old.
Yes,
Jesus
we are. Christ. Yeah, I used to. Yeah, when I was a kid, that was the big thing. If you couldn't get a hold of a Playboy or an Atom, you got a hold of a Fredericks catalog.
The Fredericks catalog, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Alan. When did you first see
this? Yesterday and today, and I'm not talking about the album by the Capitol album by the Beatles. Literally, I watched half of it yesterday and half of it today.
Cool. I watched all this yesterday. It was really good. The scenery was amazing. David Lynch's the cinematographer is great.
Yeah.
The development. So in 1994, 73-year-old Alan Straight rode a lawnmower across roughly 250 miles of the American Midwest to visit his alien brother. Mary Sweeney, David Lynch's frequent collaborator, read about Straight Story in the New York Times that summer. Said Sweeney, growing up in Wisconsin, I really easily connected with that kind of stoic, nonverbal, stubborn, idiosyncratic American character. I get how hard it is to have quiet pride and dignity when you're old and poor and are living in the middle of nowhere. I understand what these people dreams and frustrations are, and I loved how much his journey captured the national imagination. So wearing my producer's hat, I started trying to secure the rights. So producer Ray Stark had already acquired the rights to Straight Story and envisioned the project as a potential star vehicle for Paul Newman. Straight died in 1996, and the rights to his story became available again. Sweeney co-wrote the script with John Roach and childhood friend. The two retraced Straight's route in the process of writing. When Lynch saw the finished script, he immediately took to it, saying it became, for me, very real. So what did you guys think here of this, Patrick?
It is meditative in every sense, it's going to sound really arguably pretentious, but I don't think so. Lynch is so associated with transcendental meditation, and I think this is a very, very, very TM movie. It's just the mantra is the sound of the road under the wheels. It is a meditative film. It's about a guy who has a lot of issues to resolve with his brother, and the act of getting to him, I think, is the healing more than as much as the visit. One of the things about meditation, transcendental meditation, is of course the whole thing with the mantras is malarkey. About it being this magical word that occurs to the TM guy. It's actually found on a chart. It's the year the TM guy started whatever his particular practice is, and the year that you were born. And there's nothing magical about it. It can be any sound, but science studied what was going on there, and there is something about repetition there, and it happens in cars all the time because of the regular sound of the road once you hit a certain stretch, and it has to be in those straight environments. So I really think this is his exploration of TM. I honestly do.
Alan?
Did you notice that at the beginning of the trip, half his wheels are in gravel, and by the end of the trip, he's all on asphalt?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So that's a great observation, actually. But it's also observable that this is as true as the story is. It's also Midwestern mythos and Midwestern poetry of communication. Every word is as a distillation. It's every single word in it is a distillation. It's almost like Beckett in a lot of ways, except it's not absurdist. It's much more straightforward than that, which is why it's called Straight Story. And of course, his name is Straight. But the fact that his name is Straight is only half the story of that word in terms of what this film is. It's very straightforward. Everything, the stories that he tells that have a purpose for the person being told, that's where the wording is extremely straightforward and extremely economical, but the subtext is just enormous.
Yes,
it's beautiful. Actually, and Farnsworth, who was a late life revelation in films because nobody knew who he was because he was a stuntman for years. And then became an actor later on, probably because his knees and hips were going. He said, hey, if I can, get some of these people that I've worked for to actually let me audition for them.
Yeah.
But his face, shows his face could sink 1,000 ships for all of the experience and heaviness and weightiness that there is in it.
Sure.
I could see Newman doing this role, except he was too goddamn pretty, even when he was 80.
He was. There's too much twinkle in that eye.
Yeah, he's too. And there's Farnsworth. I mean, I hate to say that he was wasted on being a stuntman because this guy has depth and probably always had it, but he certainly wasn't wasted. I'm sure he made a huge living doing that. But he's also, you can see him in The Natural. He's one of the coaches in The Natural as well. And several other films that he did before he passed away. He passed away the year after this film was made, at the age of 80. He was 80. But this is the incredible journey right here. It really is. I don't know how many weeks it took him. I know he got to a certain point and it had already taken him 5 weeks. So at 5 miles an hour, he wasn't traveling that many miles.
Yeah, that was just out of the block. It was a neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, geez. I mean, it took him a long time to get there. But you're also right. The trip is part of his purging of all of this guilt and all of this sort of thing. And of the stories that he tells to people that are pointed, like to the twins about brotherhood. I mean, obviously that's about him. He's talking to himself as much as he's talking to them. Sure. His own experience with his brothers is informing what he wants to say to those two guys.
Yeah.
After he's completely ripped about $75 off the price of the repair, he then proceeds to give them about $1,000 worth of advice.
Oh, horrible. They're nasty people.
Yeah, well, just kind of the Bickersons.
Yeah.
that was kind of what they were. But he saw something else in that. A really interesting, gentle soul, in spite of all the, I'm sure, a difficult life. He had many children who were long gone and adults and off by themselves. He has the one daughter who has some learning disabilities or something going on, who lost her children because there was a fire.
Oh God, the
And
implications.
she didn't lose them that way, but they were taken away from her by the state.
Yeah.
One of them was injured, but the children are still out there somewhere, and she never gets to see them. So that's pain that
I would live in fear of them.
Yeah, well,
that would be me.
Yeah, but obviously Sissy Spacek plays the role wonderfully, and she's
so good.
obvious. There's nothing seriously wrong with her, as he says. She's got, she talks funny and this and that and the other thing, but she's sharp. She organizes everything around the house. She knows, she has her competencies. And it was unfair that the kids were taken away from her. But that's another sorrow and agony that he bears for her, and she bears for herself. So there's a sadness that runs through this whole thing, and a regret and everything.
Oh, sure.
Not just about the brother. It's not just about the brother,
Well, if
but
anything give you a chance to review every moment of your life, it's driving 5 miles an hour on a John Deere tractor.
Yeah. And then when he finally gets there, Lynch makes sure that it wasn't about the meeting of these two guys, although you're going to see that. You're going to see about 3 or 4 minutes of that, and that's it. That's it, because that's not the point of the movie. The point was getting there, the journey. Life is a journey, not a destination, as the old saying goes. And they barely speak even after they meet, but there's an understanding there.
They're there.
It's the fact that he came all that way on that rattle trap, that thank God somebody decided, well, we should take the mower part off, when he finally broke down. Because obviously didn't need that. And it probably saved the engine to some degree.
Yes.
At some point. But yeah, the whole thing is it's like the Odyssey, and he he comes out the other side. Now, in reality, I think he did this in 1992 or 3 or something like that. And he passed away like just a few years later, 96. But he achieved fame. I mean, he got a lot of press for it at the time, and probably got some local television and so on out of it. Not that he would have cared for that if he was anything like the way he was depicted.
Sure.
But I thought it was really interesting. The point of his mission is to go and reconcile with his brother, but that becomes only one of the points of the travel. So it's not only TM, it's very zen. I mean, when he talks to the girl around the campfire, he just knows she's pregnant. She's running away from home. And he just talks to her. He doesn't judge her. He doesn't do anything like that. That's like Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree. And he just and she makes the decision herself. And she ties a little bundle together after he tells her the little parable about family, breaking one stick and then putting the rest of the sticks together, tying them together that you can't break it. That's family. And she leaves a little bundle of sticks by the fire pit. And this guy is like a kind of Buddha.
Yeah. Bodhisattva.
Yeah, Bodhisattva. Yeah.
For the role of Alan Trey, producers cast their first choice, Richard Farnsworth. Though he was reluctant to commit to the role, he was then terminally ill with metastatic prostate cancer.
Yeah.
He took the role out of admiration for Strait. Sissy Spacek, a longtime friend of Lynch, who helped to finance his earlier film, Eraserhead, was cast as Alvin's daughter, Rose. Harry Dean Stanton was cast as Alvin's brother, obviously. The Straight story was independently shot along the actual route taken by Straight, and all the scenes were shot in chronological order. In the autumn of 1998, Alvin Straight's real-life residence was used as his home in the film, and Straight's neighbors in the film were his actual neighbors. Lynch would later call the film my most experimental movie. He is absolutely right. During production, Farnsworth's cancer had spread to his bones, but he astonished his coworkers with his tenacity during production.
Must have been in a lot of pain.
The paralysis of his legs, as shown in the film, was real. Farnsworth died by suicide on October 6, 2000, at the age of 80. What a performance! Very driven.
Let's call it let's call it self-imposed euthanasia.
That's it. That's it. He decided to go meet God. That's what he decided to do. But really, really great performance here, and I really love the interactions because I did not know a lot of this here when I watched the movie, so it did feel very real. Because it was, and I like that very much. Now there are actual actors in this movie. Sissy Spacek is in this movie, obviously. Everett McGill is in this movie for the he's in here. So there are actors, but you do get real people, which is nice. Harry Dean Stanton. The journey of this movie. It is the story. I like when the young people ask him, what's the toughest sin about getting old? He said the toughest sin about getting old is remember when you were young. It's like, yeah.
That's why I try not to remember what it felt like being young.
All right. Oh my God. You guys might hate me for the next movie selection then.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What is it? Forever Young?
No.
Cocoon?
No Cocoon. No Cocoon. I don't know if you guys have it or will be able to find it, but still.
Okay.
What's you guys' favorite scene in this movie?
I really like the scene with the twins. I really like that a lot. I think that's a really good scene. Because he the whole, he comes in there to sort of, horse trade with them, but it turns into something entirely unexpected.
Now, I very much like to see a talk show based on this, and the celebrity would be on a lawn.
Yeah, on a little metal chair.
Yeah, it would start out with Farnsworth on the far right. And he would call out to the celebrity, hey, are you Richard Basehart? I don't know where I got it. Yeah, I'm Richard Basehart.
Do you want a wiener?
You want a wiener? Yeah. I saw you in that picture about the submarine. Yeah, that's pretty good. I thought so. How's that David Edison? He's okay. Is he there? No, not today. All right. And it would take the entire time, the entire episode.
Yeah.
As he'd be waving goodbye for half of it. Joel, would you watch such a show?
I guess I'll watch anything at least once. I guess, but
well, that's not a good criterion. Then for my idea, that's the thing. I could do a show called Speed Readers.
We want
game show.
We want ratings. Damn it, we want ratings.
Oh my God! Oh my God! My favorite scene was the scene with the preacher.
That's pretty cool too.
That was really good. I was not expecting that in this movie.
I thought he was going to come up there and say, "Put that damn fire out."
Yeah. And it does. None of this feels like cliche or fake. It feels really good.
Yep.
So.
He doesn't jump a decrepit bridge with Sally Field.
No. Yes, it doesn't turn into the bridges of Madison County along the way.
God. No, thank God. Whatever happened to that guy, the author of that?
Oh God, I don't
Yet,
know.
yet.
I always thought he was a complete sleazy basement Lothario type.
He is.
He's just awful person.
He is. I'm sure he's in a retirement home now with every single venereal disease a human can possibly hold at once.
Or his coffin has every venereal.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we thought you'd be most comfortable here. It's like Dracula being on his home soil.
Home soiled.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
There is soundtrack to this. Lauren's Iowa, Rose's theme, Lauren's Walking, Sprinkler, Alvin's theme, Final Miles, Country Waltz, Rose's theme again, Country theme, Crystal, Nostalgia, Farmland Tour, and Montage. So, guys, what do you give this movie?
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
It's a very weird film in the best sense. It's one of those David Lynch movies I've ever seen. In just its slow fascination with beautiful and wondrous things. You know, normally Lynch takes something ugly and industrial and turns it into beauty. Here he just takes beauty and communicates
Makes it
in a
more
straightforward
beautiful
way.
Yes. And somehow makes it more beautiful by doing it that way.
Yes, he does.
I give this movie a 12. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Do you guys have access to a movie called My Neighbor Totoro?
That's a oh my God, it's a cat. And he's about to give you an eyeful. No, okay, good. You were spared it. It was like Starro from Justice League. Yeah, that's a Miyazaki movie, isn't it?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. Well, if you guys have it, that's fine. That's the movie I'm picking for tomorrow.
Okay.
If you don't have it, message me. I have a backup movie, and it is on Golden Pond. But for now, we're doing My Neighbor Totoro. So, is there anything you guys want to add about this movie before we go?
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah, it speaks for itself. I highly recommend anybody wanting to watch a thoughtful film should watch this.
It is really thoughtful. I do like how McGill, the guy in this who usually plays villains in other movies, he goes, I really thought you were smart, Alvin, until today.
Yes. Well, I can understand why he would say that. Also, the neighbors are very much like, and they're real people. Obviously, he cast the real people, these neighbors, and they're somehow perfect and mythologically like characters out of Fargo or something. You know, they're very, very, they're real, but at the same time, they're like they're part of a mythos.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Really great movie. That is Patrick McCray. That is Alan. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Sequel from Don's going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Collins Court After Dark will be in the description box. You guys have a safe night and take care.
Safe journeys.
Yes.
Peace and love.
All right.